Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home. Welcome to Messy Kitchen Monday. Hope y'all are doing well on this quarantine Monday. We are kicking off a new month of some really great recipes. And y'all know I'm a planner. Now, I like to plan. I'm not always great at executing that plan, but everything I do here for Messy Kitchen Monday and over at thebutteredhome.com, I've done like months in advance. So that's one of the things that I have been pretty good at executing was actually all my blog content. This weekend we just finished up shooting everything all the way up through September. So we're way ahead. So sometimes I seem confused. It's just because I don't know if it's April or if it's September. But anyway, we hope to be wrapped up for the year by the end of May. That's the timeline anyway. And then I can spend the summer enjoying my sweet children and my sweet husband and us doing a little traveling for Reagan's senior trip and hopefully for my 25th wedding anniversary in September. So we always try to look ahead. So if I seem a little confused, it's like I said, because I've done these recipes back in January and we're repeating them for tonight. But with that being said, I had no idea that crock pot cooking and then low calorie recipes and now casseroles, which is what our theme is for the month of April, would really be so important right now. There would have been no way that I could have known all this back in the first quarter of the year whenever I was doing all this, but I'm very thankful that I did, because these are some really good recipes, because I know a ton of people are cooking right now that may not ordinarily cook, or those that do cook are looking for some new things to have. So we're really excited to be able to share recipes like these with you, and we have a great month of casseroles coming up for you. Also, I've got my trusty hand tonight, Reagan, helping me. I'm just going to remind her, if you see a question that I need to answer, just let me know. So Tanner has been out of work for a few weeks because she is a hairdresser, but that doesn't mean that she's not working, because she has spent the day today putting in flower beds. So she's gone from doing hair to doing manual labor at her house. So she's not able to join us tonight because I think she bit off a little more than she can chew, but she's here with us in spirit, and hopefully she might be watching. So Tanner, if you're here, give us a wave. Also, if you're new to Messy Kitchen Monday on Facebook, be sure and drop your name and let us know where you're watching from. We love our new people, and we love to see where you're watching from. Same with you guys on Instagram. I can't always reply to you unless you direct message me, and feel free to do so if you have a question, and I'll get to you as soon as we get done. Like I said, tonight we're kicking off our month of casseroles. Now, any good Southerner knows that casseroles have healing powers. Casseroles can cure depression. They can help you when you're sick. I mean, all kind of things. And we do a lot of food gifting here in the South, whether it be for somebody's birthday, when they have a new baby, or when somebody passes along to their heavenly reward. The casserole is king in the South. And we're going to show you this month why it is. One of my favorite ways to cook is kind of just to throw everything together and let it do its thing, and let my oven do all the work, or my crock pot do all the work. So certainly casseroles fall in that category. And tonight we have a really good one. So one of my favorite things in this world is carbs. And if you'll remember, last month we just did a whole month of eating good and healthy. Well, we're about to undo that, and I think that's appropriate too with the current state of quarantine. We're probably undoing all the work that we did January, February, and the first part of March by eating well and by exercising. So this only goes to just fall right in line with the rest of it. So we're gonna show you a wonderful casserole tonight, which is a side dish, but can also be fantastic right by itself. And usually when I tell you that a side dish, something that I'm cooking is good by itself, it usually has bacon in it. So bacon is the unsung hero of proteins, and it certainly can be just as good as a main course too. But we are doing cheesy bacon potato casserole. Now there are 10 million different ways you can do potatoes. Potatoes are your most versatile of the root vegetable, and we like to show you different ways that you can take the boring potato and jazz it up a little bit, and this is a great one to do. Now a couple of notes that I have for you is I think I did a post the other night on Facebook about that unpopular opinion thing, which is so annoying. Thank God I only asked people to name one thing that everybody else liked that you don't like. And I have a good friend whose husband doesn't like onions, and I know he doesn't like onions. Keith, I'm talking about you if you're watching. So, you know, onions, and I think for him it may be taste and texture, but I know for a lot of people the dislike of onions has more to do about texture. So by all means, I always like to talk about what substitutions you can make, and the substitutions for this would be just good old onion powder, because the bacon and the onion and the cheese and the potatoes kind of all goes together to give this a certain flavor. So if you're not a fan of onions, leave them out, but do put in a little onion powder if you don't mind the taste of them. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how quickly this comes together. So as usual, I do about a half of the recipe, and I've already got the other half in the oven. So in a pretty good sized bowl, we've got some diced potatoes, and they're about the size of $50, nickel to a $50. You just want them to all be about the same size so that they cook up nice and even. And we're going to put those in our bowl. And I recommend that you cut up your potatoes last, because they'll turn black on you if you let them sit out too long. So to that, we're going to add some bacon. And the recipe, I think, calls for about 6 slices of bacon all chopped up. And like I said, we're only doing half. And then the recipe also calls for green onions. Now, green onions are good because if you are an onion fan, they have kind of a sweet, hot flavor, but this really mild. So I'm using purple onions, which are a little stronger than normal. But that's only because my grocery pickup is not until tomorrow night, and I don't have any green onions right now. So we make do with what we have. So purple onions or white onions or yellow onions will work just fine too. It all depends on your personal preference, but in go the onions. And then what I like to do at this point is kind of just stir those 3 things together to get it all incorporated. And then I have some cheese, and don't worry if you're new, I don't always give out the measurements while we're live, just simply for time's sake. But if you are a Buttered Home VIP, you'll get this recipe first before anybody else. Otherwise, the recipe with all of the measurements for everything will drop later in the week, and then you'll have access to it. If you wanted to become a VIP member on Facebook, you can go to the top of the page and hit the sign up button. On Instagram, you can go to the link in bio, and it will take you to our page at thebutteredhome.com, and there'll be a sign up in the bottom of the page there. So we've got some cheddar, shredded cheddar, and we're going to add just about all of that in with the potatoes and the onions and the bacon, and we're going to mix that up. Now, one thing you're going to find in any good southern casserole is mayonnaise. Now, I like just any old mayonnaise, but I really like Duke's. Duke's has a really good flavor, and Duke's to me is a better cooking mayonnaise because it won't taste like mayonnaise whenever you cook it. I also have some minced garlic here, but before I add this, I'm gonna add in my salt and pepper. And if you are salt sensitive, you can use a salt substitute. That'll be fine. You just do what suits your lifestyle better. And then we're gonna add in some black pepper. Oh, another reason I like the green onions cut up in here is because it gives it a good little pop of color. I like for my food to be pretty, so if you add that green onion in here, then it makes it really pretty. But now these purple onion make it pretty too. So, but we love recipes like these where you can take them and make them your own. So certainly this is just the basics for something that could be done all kind of different ways, that makes for a really good side dish that will be the star of whatever you're cooking it for. So now we have the minced garlic and the Duke's mayonnaise that are about to go in. And then we're just gonna mix that up. And it's not a lot of mayonnaise, it's just enough kind of to make it all kind of bind together and give it just a little bit of flavor. And like I said, one of the reasons why I like Duke's is because when it cooks, when you use it in something like this, you don't taste mayonnaise. It just gives it a creamy texture and it's really nice. And you're not using enough mayonnaise in this for it to be real mayo-y, if that's even a word. So now I have a lightly greased bacon dish, and this is just gonna go into the bacon dish. And we're just gonna spread it out. Clean up my mess just a little bit. And then we're gonna take the rest of that shredded cheese and we're just gonna put it on top, because who doesn't love a cheese pull, right? Good pizza's only good if you pull that piece out and the cheese just goes everywhere. Macaroni and cheese, all that stuff, you know. So just a little bit on top gives it just that really pretty, like you'd want to take a picture of it, essence. This will go into a 350-degree oven, uncovered, for about an hour, or until it's bubbly and brown, and your potatoes, you can stick a fork in them and it goes all the way through. And I'm about to show you what it looks like when it comes out. Oh, it smells really, really good. So I just did mine in a pan from earlier today, and you've got cheesy bacon potatoes. And I'm gonna grab my fork that I thought that I kept. You got a question?
I have two.
Okay.
Tricia Smith says that Duke's is a Southern mayo. Is it similar to Hellman's or Best Foods?
It's probably closer to Best Foods or Kraft. Sometimes Hellman's is a little sweeter, almost like it's got a little something extra in it. And it would be good for this too. Hellman's is a good cooking mayonnaise as well. It has a little oilier of the texture, so it would be really good in here with the potatoes and the bacon. But Duke's to me is, that's just the ultimate. And I can't tell you why, you just have to try it for yourself. Alright?
Alright, Kristen says, can you use sour cream or Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise?
You sure can. You certainly can. If you're counting your calories and things like that, you can use Greek yogurt. I would use unflavored plain Greek yogurt, and I wouldn't use as much of the mayonnaise because that yogurt or sour cream is just going to go a little bit farther than the mayonnaise will. So, is that all I got running? All right, Reagan's doing a good job, isn't she, y'all? She hadn't distracted me not the first time tonight. But back to the cheesy potatoes. So you have got this wonderful bacon and all this cheese all in one beautiful bite. And it's really good. And you got that garlic and you've got that mayonnaise, which gives it just a creamy texture. So it is a casserole, but it comes out not all heavy like you would normally think a casserole would be. So in my mind, this is the perfect Sunday going to a church meeting potato dish. or it's just as good for a Tuesday night too. So we hope that you try it, and we hope that you love it, and we hope that you will be here for all of our great recipes for Casseroles, the month of Casseroles. We hope that you all are staying home. We hope that you all are washing your hands, and we hope that you all are taking care of one another from a good 6 to a 10-foot distance. Not to make light of the current state that we're in, because it is very serious. And I hope that tonight you all will join me as we remember all of our healthcare workers, our first responders, law enforcement, all of the people who don't get to be home with their families. Those are the people who are on the front lines, and they are the people who have their hands in the middle of something that's taken a lot of lives. So we ask that in this Easter season that you do stop and remember those people who don't have a choice but have to work to save lives. But we're going to keep it light, and we're going to keep it happy, and we hope that you will be with us for the rest of the month on Monday night for Messy Kitchen Monday, because we have some really good recipes in store for you. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that you can mix up ahead of time, freeze it, and then take it out of the freezer and cook it, or put it in the refrigerator on a Sunday afternoon and cook it, one night later in the week. So we hope that you will enjoy this. We hope that you enjoy Messy Kitchen Monday, and we hope that you'll be back, and we hope that you all stay safe and well this week. So from the buttered home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye-bye.